Good evening, one. Good evening, all, and welcome to another episode of Cowboys in the Kitchen. My name is Paul Simmons. I'm your cowboy, and here's the kitchen. Actually, you can't see that because it's tipped up. There. Now you can see the kitchen. Okay. This is what happens when we don't have a big studio and a large staff. So I'm going to take this and move this around a little bit so you can see it. There's my awesome KitchenAid mixer. Yay! Cool. Now you can see both me a little bit and the mixer. So I'm going to take off my cowboy hat because otherwise it will go flying off my head when I get moving and grooving here in the kitchen. And I'm going to go put on one of my favorite hats that says FDNY. So anyway, tonight I'm going to make white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. And I have one of the guys that I work with that I promised him cookies because he helped me out. Sorry, by the way, if this is auto-focusing. I'm trying to figure out how not to have it do that. But we'll hopefully get that thing squared up. One thing at a time. Hey, at least now we got sound, right? Anyway, so my buddy Porna has helped me out on numerous occasions. And I keep telling him, so I'm going to make you cookies. And what kind would you like? And he always says white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. Oddly enough, this is one popular cookie that I have never ever made. So I'm going to do a double batch of these. Pretty much half of them are going to him, and I've got some other folks that are due some. So for a double batch of this, we need a cup of butter. So that's 2 sticks of butter. So we're going to do the butter. There we go. I've got everything pretty much pre-measured. It says in a large bowl, cream butter and sugar until light and fluffy. Okay, so there's 2/3 of a cup per batch of sugar. So I've got 4/3 of a cup and a third of sugar. So, because it's a double batch. Okay. And you can flip this up. I'm going to turn on. Hey, there's Peggy. Hi, Peggy. There's Joe. Hi, Joe. So that's creaming up pretty nice. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to need 2 eggs. Those I did not bring out because, hey, they're eggs, right? You guys want to see juggling? No, not going to do that. Not going to do juggling. Yeah. Hey, there's my buddy Dave. Dave's up in Canada. Dave, I actually talked to some folks on the radio who are out in your neck of the woods. I got Edmonton on one call and what was the other one? Calgary on another call from my truck. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and toss in an egg, not with the shells, just the egg. There we go, there's 1. There's 2. By the way, if you are in a legal state and you would like to make these with can of butter, you can. I would still use the same size of measuring, so it's like 1 stick or a 1/4 pound. So this was half a pound for a double batch. But again, don't recommend that you do that for non-legal states because that's not legal, right? And it calls for a teaspoon of vanilla for each batch. So I need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. There we go. I'm going to let that go for a bit. Put the vanilla away. Now, each batch has a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons, very odd amount, of flour. So it says to whisk that together, so I'm going to put the baking soda in with the flour. And I actually have a whisk. Hey, just whisk your troubles away. So I'm going to take that, put that in there, and I'm going to whisk it. See, I'm whisking. Dave says he's 5 hours northwest of Edmonton. So that means if push come to shove and the apocalypse hit and you had a ham radio, I could talk with you. See, there we go. All right, so that's whisked together pretty good. And the other thing I really want to do with this right now is I want to get this butter and sugar mixture down here, get it to mix up a little bit better. And because I don't want to have to replace my batter beater, that would be a bad thing. There we go. Not to mention it drags your fingers in there, and that's a big old mess, and then you got to call the doctor, and yuck. Okay. So I'll lay that up over there. And so the next one is, okay. It says gradually beat this into the cream mixture. Okay, there we go. The oven's only up to 260, so I got a little bit of time there. Well, you can hear that chunking around in there. It's going to get even worse with the nuts. There we go. That was a cup per batch of macadamia nuts, and those are chopped, and a cup per batch of white baking chips. So that was actually 2 packets of the macadamia nuts and 1 packet of these things. So it's getting just about there. We got about another 55 degrees on the oven to go. And I can actually turn that off and drop this down. And yep, it smells pretty darn good. It smells like those cookies. All right, so if there's anything that I really hate when I make cookies, it's batter that just absolutely sticks to this thing and it makes it really hard to come off. And this is probably one of the best things I've ever seen. That's about as clean as it gets, boys and girls. Okay, so if I tip this up just a little bit, you can see. Works out pretty good. So now I can push the mixer on over, get out a teaspoon, of which I have many, and just says spoon them out, spoonful to go. And I'm going to do 10 per sheet because that's what I usually do. temperature sheet, they don't meet up too much in the middle. And there's 3. And 2. And another 3. Eesh, there we go. Oh, I just heard that beep. So our timing is perfect. One more, actually 2 more. There's 1. And there we go. And clean off my little finger there. And in the oven they go. And I believe it's 10 minutes. Kitchen timer 1000, start. And yes, I had that right. 10 minutes per batch. And so now I have enough, more than enough time to go fill up another one of these real quick. Yeah, Dave, I did not hear about Medi passing. I did talk with Will here a few weeks ago, and Dave and I are talking about some friends, mutual friends of ours. Will was talking about either going to spend the rest of his days down in Arizona or going into a nursing home. He didn't know which he was going to do, but he did not sound very good at all. So I just still try and call him on occasion and pray for him daily, and that's about the best I can do. I don't get a whole lot of other options. Let's see, one more there. Hey, Bear. My little kitchen buddy's sitting there going, "Dad, do I get cookies?" "No, you don't, son." "Yeah, you got fed." He's like, "Dad's in the kitchen talking to himself again." All right. So that's my usual right there. I always use parchment paper, but for the price difference, you just can't beat pop-up packs, I'll tell you. Love pop-up packs, because that way I don't have to go, did I get too much? Did I get too little? What's going on? Okay, so this is going to go over here, and then this can go over here, and whatever that is can go on the floor, because I'll sweep later, and then I'll get my cookie rack. Good deal. And let's see, we got 7.5 minutes left. Tell you what, I'm going to let you folks go do your thing. Well, it does look yummy. It's going to look even yummier when they come out of the oven. I'm going to give you guys a break for a minute, and then when we come back, I will probably have a couple of batch of these sitting out, and we'll give them a shot. Anyway, you guys take care. God bless. We'll catch you in a little bit in the kitchen. There we go. Hey, we're back. Got about 30 seconds left on the next batch. Sorry, I'm looking sideways. It does say you can't turn your phone while you're live. Yeah, it's just being goofy. I'm going to wind up having to take this and download it and change the frame on the video. Anyway, here's what we have so far. That's the first batch that you guys saw going in. And let's see, there's the oven going off. And it turns out, again, don't go, well, my oven's just like Paul's oven. Even if you have the same brand of oven that I have, you might have different hot spots. So don't sit there and go, well, Paul made his for 11 minutes. I'm going to do mine for 11 minutes. Mine wound up being 11 minutes, but the recipe says 10. So anyway, let's see. We're going to hit end, and then kitchen timer, 1100, start. And as you can see, these coming out, they're pretty light looking. They look, actually they look pretty good. They're pretty moist. You can see some moisture in and around in here. Let me make sure I've got the, yep, got the audio on both. Making sure. Hopefully you guys can hear. Yep, audio's on both of them. Let's see, okay. And those are still pretty warm. Pretty doggone warm. As it turned out, they're 40, counting what's in this oven. And so I'll probably wind up having about 50, 55, somewhere in there. And I'm just going to take these. There you have, these are still really too soft to do anything with. I can take the spatula and separate. I got a little bit of them touching, not much. Hey, Bear. You still don't get a cookie, son. Yorkies do not get cookies. There we go. Yeah, it's still pretty moist, still pretty soft. There. There's a good one. Another one. Oop. Yeah, you don't want to get too carried away with these, because when they're really soft, you can wind up mushing them up, making them disfigured. And then, you know what happens then? You have to eat them. Yes. All right. So there's those. And there'll be enough of these. That and kind of break it open there. Ooh, yummy. Do I dare? Must I eat it? Oops. Mom always said don't play with your food, right? Hey, these are pretty good. I'm not really crazy about macadamia nut cookies, but these are pretty good. Someone's watching me. Alrighty. Well, I am going to go finish these up. And now I have to go put a 10th one back in here, because those are Porna's. I swiped one of his. Can't do that. Anyway, God bless. Have a good evening. Take care. Bye.